Good afternoon and good Erev Shabbos. Yesterday, we recited Yizkor. And this coming Tuesday, April the 21st, Yom HaShoah, or Holocaust Remembrance Day, is going to be observed as the day of commemoration for the 6 million Jewish martyrs who perished in the Holocaust as a result of the actions carried out by the Nazi murderers and their collaborators. In Israel, it's a national Memorial Day. It became law in Knesset in 1959 to be established on the 27th day of the Hebrew month of Nisan, unless it's next to a Shabbos, in which case it's shifted by a day. This Shabbos is also Shabbos that we read Parashat Shmini. We read about the sudden tragic death of Aaron, the high priest's two sons, Nadav and Avihu, in the midst of the joyous celebration of the inauguration of the tabernacle in the desert. And we read about Aaron's unnatural reaction to the news, his silent acceptance of the divine decree. Vayidoim Aaron, and Aaron was silent. Perhaps there's a lesson to learn, a lead to follow in the face of tragedy, that we can learn from Aaron about silently accepting the decree. And the reason for the silence is not because there's no feeling. The reason for the silence is because there's no words to say. There are no words to say that can explain the murder of 6 million of our brothers and sisters during the Holocaust. There are no words to say that can explain and justify the loss of any single individual in our own lives. To be able to give an explanation would be able to mean to make it okay. And we can't make it okay. And yet we're taught by our sages that even though we don't have the ability to fully understand God's will, everything happens for a reason. And we're enjoined to look for that reason, to ask not lama, why is this happening to me, but lema, what am I supposed to do with this? What can I learn? I'm reminded of a time that I once approached a certain gentleman to put on tefillin. And offering him the opportunity, he said, I'll put on tefillin if you can tell me why Hashem let the 6 million Jews die in the Holocaust. Obviously, I didn't have an answer for him like that, but I did tell him that for sure they didn't die so that he would have an excuse not to put on tefillin. With that in mind, let me share with you a powerful lesson of the Holocaust that we can learn. This one is given expression by the late Rabbi Shlomo Carlebach of blessed memory. So everybody knows that what unfortunately happened after the war was this. Some Jews lost their faith completely and left Judaism altogether. Others became 10 times more religiously observant than before. How do you explain that? And the answer is, what did they remember from their childhood? Did they remember a childhood where Shabbos was so sweet, where their Tata and Mama kissed them and hugged them, and where their teacher in school gave them sweets and a tender pat on their cheeks and told them how special they were? If that was the childhood that they remembered, then after the war they said, it's been so long since I had the warmth and beauty of Judaism. I remember it so well, I want it so much. And those people returned to their heritage full force. What about those that remembered a different kind of childhood? Those people for whom Shabbos was always, no, you can't do that. Whose parents tormented them and whose rebbes, his teachers, punished them with knuckle smacking and straps. What did they say after the war? They said, I've been beaten down to the ground, slapped around enough in concentration camp. I don't want that life again, ever. And those are the ones that unfortunately left Judaism because they never saw its beauty. They never knew its joy. So, those of you with families that can share the joy of Judaism, I strongly urge you to experience it and to share it and to make a point of exemplifying how great it is, Shabbat, how great it is to be able to sit together at a table lit by candles, drinking a glass of wine, having the time to leave alone the WhatsApps and the Zooms, and to be able to just be as a family if you're lucky enough to have family with you. And if you don't, then just to take that time to know that Hashem is with you, and to know that it is still a special island in time, this Shabbat. And Judaism is what gives so much beautiful structure and infrastructure to our lives. We Jews have a glorious tradition and belief that one day soon, Mashiach will arrive and reveal himself and usher in a period of peace and tranquility. At that time, the earth will be full of the knowledge of God and His Torah, and will be given the ability to understand with perfect clarity all of what happened to us throughout our long history, both in national history and our personal history. And then we'll be able to recognize and proclaim fully God's oneness and unity, not as a matter of faith, but as a matter of realization. And on that day, Hashem Echad U'Shmo Echad, God will be one, His name will be one. Please God, we should all live to see that day soon. Amen.